Well, the commie is in control as socialist Zohran Mamdani looks to go mainstream. New York City's freshly minted mayor not wasting any time enacting his far-left agenda during his first 2 days in charge of the largest city in America by immediately seizing the means of executive orders revoking the ones his predecessor, Eric Adams, signed on Israel and anti-Semitism. And the revolution started very fast. Zohran literally getting sworn in by the OG Krusty Krab socialist, Bernie Sanders.
Thank you to the man whose leadership I seek most to emulate, who I am so grateful to be sworn in by today, Senator Bernie Sanders. We will replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism. I was elected as a democratic socialist, and I will govern as a democratic socialist. I will not abandon my principles for fear of being deemed radical.
Yeah, I know that both of his parents were professors. I don't know if they ever looked up the word collectivism, but there's another word for it, fascism. And of course, fascism always comes dressed as socialism, as you know better than anybody. It's sort of amusing to watch all of this. To me, the more alarming part of it is I don't know that he sells outside of New York. I think he's probably a little bit more impressive than Barack Obama, who was, famously not very smart. I don't think this guy is very smart. I don't think this guy is going to transform his silly, college dorm room ideas about governing into anything more serious. To me, the far more serious concern about it is that you have people like AOC, who I think is probably a whole lot more effective at politics outside of New York.
One of the sort of hidden metrics in this is that New York has always been about money, right? Cities are about a certain thing. LA's about movies, Chicago's at the mercantile system, Boston's about universities, Washington about governance, I could go on. But New York has always been about money, and that's always been the lever to pull us out when we had really bad mayors, and we've had our share, de Blasio, excuse me. So you have this thing that we had downtown, Wall Street, and that was the great savior. The problem now is that Wall Street is completely diffused. You can run a hedge fund from the moon. You don't have to be here. So what does that mean? That means the thing we have to offer is the lifestyle, right? Safety, the nightlife, the restaurants, all that other stuff. And he's going to replace that, apparently, with collectivism. And in his speech, by the way, he did something very clever. It was a very, very sort of managed speech, all right? They spent a lot of time on that. They had a lot of time he's had since he got elected.
Welcome back, guys. So today, I watched a clip from The 5, and they are talking about the new New York City Mayor, Zohran Mamdani. This video is already getting a lot of attention, so let's break it down in a calm and simple way. Zohran Mamdani was sworn in as mayor, and the movement itself became a big story. He was sworn in by Senator Bernie Sanders. That alone tells people a lot about the direction he wants to go. Bernie Sanders is known for strong left ideas, and Mamdani clearly looks up to him. In his speech, Mamdani said he wants to grow as a democratic socialist. He said he wants to replace rushed individualism with the warmth of collectivism. That one line is where many people started to worry. On the 5, the host reacted very strongly to that word, collectivism. One host said collectivism is a bad idea and compared it to systems that never worked well in the past. Another host joked that it sounds like something people talk about in a college dorm room late at night. Their main point was simple. America was built on personal freedom, not group control. They also talked about money and business. New York City has always been an economic center. It is home to Wall Street, big banks, and huge companies. The host warned that if Mamdani pushes too far left, rich people and big businesses may leave the city. They said this is not just a theory because Wall Street is not longer tied to one place. Companies can move to Florida, Texas, or even go fully remote. If that happens, the city could lose tax money, and when tax money drops, services suffer. Schools, roads, police, and public transport all depend on that money. The host, Fear Mamdani, may not fully understand how fragile that balance is. Another big concern they raised was public safety. They said this is where Mamdani could get into the most trouble. They talked about plans like closing Rikers Island, reducing jail space, and cutting police numbers. They also mentioned ideas like citizen boards controlling police discipline. The host believed these ideas may sound good on paper, but in real life, they could make crime worse. They also talked about homeless camps in the city. Some neighborhoods already struggle with tents, drugs, and unsafe streets. The host warned that being soft on crime may send the wrong message. They believe many New Yorkers care more about feeling safe than political ideas. Immigration also came up. They mentioned limits on corruption with ICE and said that could cause tension with federal law. Again, their main concern was safety and order, not politics. But the decision was not one-sided. One host admitted something important. He said Mumdani's message works very well with young people. Many young Americans feel stuck. They can't buy homes, rent is too high, wages are not rising fast enough. They feel the system is broken, so when Mamdani talks about housing and fairness, young people listen. The host even said controversies have failed to offer real solutions to the housing crisis. He admitted that just saying free markets is not enough anymore. This was a rare moment where both sides kind of agreed that housing is a serious problem. Then they talked about childcare. Mumdani sports free childcare. One host actually spotted this idea and gave an example from New Mexico. In that state, free childcare helped parents work more and improved lifestyle. She said it was a real success story. But another host pushed back hard. He said free childcare is never truly free. Someone always pay. He worried about taxes, waste and fraud. He also said the government does not always manage programs well. They also mentioned other countries where childcare is spotted, but only fully free. The idea was that there may be middle ground solutions, not all or nothing. So, what is the real takeaway? From this reaction, it feels like Zohran Mamdani represents a big shift. Some people see hope, others see danger. Supporters believe he speaks for working people and young voters. Critics fear he could damage the economy and public safety. On this, one thing is clear: New York City is a test case. If Mumdani's idea work, other cities may follow. If they fail, critics will use New York as a warning. This debate is not really about one man. It is about two visions of America. One vision focuses on group support and government help. The other focuses on personal freedom and limited government. Most Americans probably like somewhere in the middle. The big question is whether Mamdani can balance his ideals with reality. Running a city like New York is not the same as giving speeches. Real people live there, real problems need real solutions. Only time will tell if this is a bold new chapter or a risky experiment. Thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more important stories like this. And I will see you in the next video.